So 2018 is almost here. We're already in November and mid-November. So 2018 is only a month and a half away. And 2017 has been a great year for Nintendo. They launched the Switch, and it's very successful so far. And they launched probably their two biggest franchises. They launched a new Zelda game and a new Mario game, and both are very, very good. But a lot of people think that 2018 could actually rival 2017, and that would be very, very hard to do. And I think that Nintendo is going to try to make 2018 a very good year as well. But to do that, they're going to need some big games, at least one or two big games. And so far, they don't really have any. I mean, they have a lot of good smaller games that won't be quite as big, but still look really good. They have a new Yoshi, a new Kirby, and a new Fire Emblem game. But I don't think that any of those games will really sell Switches like Mario and Zelda have. I think they're going to have to put in another big game for 2018. And what big games have they announced coming out soon, but not necessarily in 2018? Well, they've announced Metroid, Prime 4, and a new Pokemon. Hello all 8 of you, I am Redkwan, and in this video I'm going to talk about whether I think Metroid or Pokemon will come out in 2018. So I'll start with Pokemon. Pokemon definitely could come out in 2018. The development for Pokemon does not take all that long. As we've seen in the past, they can make a new Pokemon game every couple years or so, because the battle system remains pretty much the same. The worlds don't take too much time to do because they aren't super expansive like Zelda or Mario had, and the character models can largely be carried over. I mean, they'll have tweaks and they'll have to make new ones, but in general, they're pretty close. The thing about that is, it's coming to the Switch. It's coming to a console that's way more powerful than any system a main Pokemon has been on before. And while the Pokemon series could remain largely the same, there's also a good chance that they'll change a lot up. They might make bigger worlds, they might add many more Pokemon, and they might do things with the series that it hasn't done before, which will take development time and testing time. So, yes, it could come out in 2018, but I think there's also a good chance that it won't, just because the Switch will be a huge step up from the 3DS, and they'll probably have to change a lot of stuff. Metroid will also probably have to change quite a bit. I mean, it's been almost a decade since a new Metroid Prime came out, and the last one was on the Wii, and it used motion controls. So obviously a lot's going to change from that one to this one. And even going back to the GameCube ones, the way that the controls worked in the original two Metroid Primes was not terrific, and I think they're going to have to change a lot of that. And since the other ones are so old, they're going to have to do a lot of new work with the graphics, and they're probably going to make a very expansive world with a lot of stuff in it. So that whole process will take a long time. But just based on Nintendo showing at E3, I feel like that's a lot farther along than Pokemon is. Pokemon, they just had someone from the Pokemon company talking about them going to make a new Pokemon. Metroid Prime 4 actually had a logo, and I know that's not really much, and it doesn't show that they've done anything with the actual game, but I have a feeling like they have done a lot of work on it already. And while it may seem unlikely, I do believe that Nintendo is going to have a big game for 2018, and I don't think anything that they've said will come out in 2018 really qualifies as that, even though they might be very good. And since they haven't announced anything else, I can't see too much more in the way of giant releases coming out for 2018. So, unless there is some giant release that they just haven't told us yet for 2018, I think it's got to be either Metroid or Pokemon coming out next year. And out of those two, I think Metroid seems more likely. I mean, Metroid Prime hasn't had an entry in 10 years, and Pokemon is having one right now. So, I can't really see a new Pokemon game coming out this close to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And if it's not Pokemon, I think it's got to be Metroid. Metroid fans have been waiting a long time. It's a new system, and I think it's the right time for Metroid to come out. So, if I had to guess, I would say I think 2018 will have Metroid Prime 4. I could be wrong. There could be some big game that they announce and releases in the same year. Could have Yoshi and Kirby and Fire Emblem, and just make those more important games and rely more on them. Or Pokemon could end up coming out. But if I had to guess, I'd say it looks like Metroid Prime 4 will probably be Nintendo's big game for 2018. Well, anyways, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you all later, and goodbye.